Really is a pleasure to be here, both representing Great River Energy and as a member of Lake Country Power. My wife and I have a cabin in the Jacobson area, and it's a great pleasure to be here. I'm told I'm supposed to advance the slides. Yes, thank you. So Great River Energy, we're a cooperative like Lake Country Power. Lake Country Power is one of our 28 members, and we serve about 695,000 homes and businesses, or about 1.7 million people who live in the homes that we serve. Our wholesale electricity rates to our members are 4% below the weighted regional average, and our rate projections show increases below the rate of inflation, about 0.88%, less than 1% a year for the next 10 years. Our purpose is to provide reliable, affordable electricity in harmony with a sustainable environment. We do that with 11 power plants, 4,800 miles of transmission line, and some wind power and solar projects. Like many utilities, our power supply portfolio is becoming increasingly renewable. We produce or purchase renewable energy at wind farms, solar installations, hydropower facilities, and a waste-to-energy plant. Some highlights about 2017. We had a $6 million refund to our members near the end of the year, and we also deferred $17.9 million to offset future rate increases. We signed a 300 megawatt wind agreement for a project to be constructed next year. To give you an idea of what a megawatt is, the average home uses 5 to 10 kilowatts, and there's 1,000 kilowatts in a megawatt. We achieved the 25% renewable energy standard in Minnesota 8 years early. We were supposed to be 25% renewable by 2025. We got there by the end of 2017. We had $18.5 million in business improvements in 2017, and what that is when an employee comes up with a process improvement or an idea or a cost reduction that saves money for us and our members. That's a business improvement. We've had $280 million of those over the course of our history. And also last year we closed Stanton Station, a coal-fired power plant in North Dakota. Here's that 10-year rate forecast that I mentioned. We project rates to increase by small increments, less than 1% per year over the next 10 years. Here's what's happened to our carbon dioxide emissions since 2005. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Changes in our power supply are having a positive environmental effect. The chart shows how our carbon dioxide emissions have declined by 29% since 2005. At Coal Creek Station, which is one of our coal-fired power plants in North Dakota, we've had to respond to low prices in the wholesale power market. And we did that by beginning flexible operations in November of 2016. Prior to that, the plant was a must-run plant, meaning we would run it at the top all the time, flat out at 1,145 megawatts with a fairly high minimum load. In November of 2016, we started what's called an economic offer. And we also lowered our minimum load down to 300 megawatts, enough to keep both units online and to keep steam flowing to an ethanol plant. And our variable cost at the plant then is compared to the price in the regional wholesale market, and that determines plant output. And this approach both reduces our cost and reduces our CO2 emissions. It's been a successful operation for us. Here's a graph of the output of Coal Creek Station last year. You can see the effect of ramping the unit up and down in response to low prices in the market. In previous years, this graph would have been a relatively flat line right across the top of the chart. And you can now see the waviness in the graph because of our being responsive to the price signals in the wholesale power market. we're doing a much better job of responding to those price signals. We calculated the benefit in 2017 of ramping down Coal Creek Station when prices were less than our variable cost, and that benefit was $676,000 in savings in the year. And this estimate is conservative because low prices would have been even lower if we had not reduced output at the plant. So wind and natural gas continue to increase in the wholesale market, and thus they're pushing down wholesale prices. This is going to continue. Ramping Coal Creek Station units yielded a net benefit of at least $676,000 last year, and that benefit will increase as more wind power enters the market. We are working at getting a better understanding of the cost of ramping. There is a cost of it too. I showed one of the costs on that chart. We're going to work on getting a better understanding of the cost this year, but we do know that there are benefits. The ramping benefit can occur at any time of the year, but has the greatest potential during the spring and the fall when loads are lighter and there's more wind power on the system. So thank you very much for your attention. And finally, Mr. President, I'd like to present Lake Country Power with a check for $1,000 to Operation Roundup. Thank you very much.